Welcome to You and Aya, the human experience. I'm your host, Aya, and I will be taking you on a journey of self-discovery through personal experiences. This podcast was created in hopes to give you a fresh perspective on life and to expand your beliefs that no matter what, you are in charge of your own life and your own success. Welcome to Chapter 10. This one is about awareness. I'm sure that you are familiar with that word. But what exactly is awareness? And most importantly for you and I, so we can get closer to our legacy, why is it important to know what it means to be self-aware or to have self-awareness? According to Merriam-Webster, awareness is the quality or state of being aware, having knowledge and understanding that something is happening or exists. Although my chapters talk about different topics, I want to remind you that they are all connected and they will all bring you closer to your legacy. Every time I get an idea of a new topic for a chapter, I go and I do some research about it. Normally, it's just brief and general research, but I make sure when I do that I read articles from good sources. And the reason I'm mentioning this is to let you know, even though this podcast comes from personal experiences and perspective, it also comes from what I have learned while I was getting my master's in the topic of mass communications and how important it is to back up your ideas and thoughts by articles and other research that fit the material you are discussing. For example, you could start talking about social media and tell me that everyone is using it now. Yes, it is a valid observation from your surroundings that everyone seems to be using it. But how do you know for sure that literally everyone uses it? I mean, I know for a fact that both my grandmothers and my grandfather don't use it. This is when you go and do research to back up the observations that you see. You find articles that support that cause, and then I can believe you that yes, maybe you do have a credible point. I read an article by Sean Peake under the title of Want to be a Good Leader? Step 1, Know Thyself. And it talks about what self-awareness is and how you can improve it. You can read his article on BND, businessnewsdaily.com, and I will share some of his stuff shortly. So I've been aware of myself for a while now, meaning I practice self-awareness, as in how I act when certain situations come up, how I feel and why I feel the way I do when certain things happen, what shaped my perception of how I see things the way I do, and what I need to do to change the way I react or respond, and that I'm willing to make that change so I can grow as a person for the sake of updating that chip I've mentioned in the previous chapter. So I'm going to give you 2 tiny examples. I was on my way to an appointment this morning and I was behind a car on a red light. The light turned green and the car in front of me did not move. My old self would have wanted to honk the horn, call this person an asshole, of course under my breath, get angry, blame them for being late to my appointment, etc. But instead, because I have been practicing self-awareness, I was aware that I was anxious and nervous because I could possibly be late for this appointment. And I had to stop myself from acting on something that wasn't necessary. See, as you grow as an individual, you will come to understand that everything you do is a projection of your own feelings that you are going through at the moment, and even feelings that you are carrying with you, the unresolved feeling and dissatisfaction that you've let simmer on the back burner because you are too busy to deal with it. So these trapped feelings, emotions, they come out in moments like that. Red lights, a waiter bringing out your wrong order, delayed flights, an undelivered package, things that are out of your control, in quotation. Anyways, I didn't honk. I took a deep breath and immediately remembered that I have been in that person's position before. I have been the car that didn't move quickly when the lights turned green. Let me tell you, it felt really good to take charge. Another example is me having a conversation again with my best friend, Thaís, about my future career job. And this one is an uncomfortable conversation for me, and I will let you know why. Before I do, I have to mention, she knows what she wants career-wise, so that makes me feel a bit of an underachiever. She always tells me that I need to have a goal, a plan, a vision of what it is that I want so I can pursue that. When this particular conversation used to surface years ago, when I was young and hip, the old me would have been offended, would have been defensive, shut the conversation out immediately, walked away, said that I knew what I was doing, which is obviously not true because if I was, I wouldn't be where I am and I wouldn't act as such. But now, I am aware of myself and what triggers me. When the conversation comes up, my heart still races. And that is my indicator that it still gets to me. But why? Well, it is a sensitive topic for me. I am 31 and I don't have a career job like everyone else my age. So this conversation is reassuring me that I haven't reached what I wanted career-wise, that I don't have that financial stability, and that I do not have a goal or know what I truly want to do. Now I am aware of that, and instead of being defensive, walking away, or pretending that I have my shit together, I would have a raw conversation about my concerns of not finding what I like, or about being stuck in a loop of just temporary jobs, and about feeling like a failure because of this. See, sometimes awareness is just being honest with yourself about your reality, maybe acknowledging it, accepting it, and taking the step to change what you don't like in your reality. And that doesn't mean that all things that you're afraid to face are scary. I mean, I'm sure they are, but there's always a solution. This is just a fraction of the things I face on a daily basis and what I have to work on to get closer to my legacy. Since you have been supporting me and keeping up with my journey, the Coffee House and I want to thank you again for your endless support. That's why we want to give you a free small drink of your choice when you use the word experience at the counter. I hope to see you then. So maybe you can consider practicing self-awareness because it will get you closer to your legacy. Go ahead and read Sean Reed's article. He defines self-awareness as the ability to monitor your own emotions and reactions. It lets you know your strength, weaknesses, triggers, motivators, and other characteristics. Being self-aware means taking a deeper look at your emotions, why you feel a certain way, and how your sentiments could turn into reactions. This is exactly what I had to find out for myself years ago and put into practice way before I stumbled upon this article while writing this chapter. Doing my research and stuff. He writes it very beautifully. Check it out. So back to what I was saying. The examples I gave, if you ask me, they are perfect. Why? Because this is life, my friend. These little moments and day-to-day interactions are what life is made of. It is just like seconds make up minutes and minutes make up hours and hours make up days and so forth. Your self-awareness and how you deal with yourself and your surroundings are what will make up your life and eventually make up your legacy. It is the small things that make a difference and bring value to you and I. As you might have noticed, my analogies are a bit weird, but think of it as a retina display with its teeny tiny little pixels that are put together that gives it that crisp finish. It is up to you. Do you want to be a TV with a retina display, or do you want to be a TV that looks like a boombox from the 20s? Which pixels do you want to gather to display for humanity? The choice is yours. I kind of want to bring my favorite topic into this scenario. You guessed it, social media. The big flaw that I have mentioned many times in the previous chapters, and how if you don't balance that use, it will start using you instead. Think about it this way. You can see this phenomenon growing in our society today. We want people to tell us what to do. We want people to give us advice. We want people to give us a script to follow. And sometimes you and I are so desperate and so dissatisfied within that we don't even care who it is we are taking advice from or who we are listening to. We are so molded and so boxed up into believing that what's popular is the only way to go, instead of looking for what is beneficial. Again, following the herd. You and I search for that person that has the most followers and most comments, thinking that they are credible or experts or that they have their shit together. Be careful. Just because you want a way out, it doesn't mean that you should just settle for what sounds good. Think, ask, and question. Please, you are your own person. Don't be immediately dragged to a side just because this person looks cool or speaking confidently about something, or because they support a cause that you think is the truth. There's a lot of actors out there, and they will do anything to get followers for the sake of popularity, going viral, money, and don't even get me started on politics. This is again going back to chapter 9 about dependency. Who are you depending on in this case? Why don't you want to take charge of your own life? Why do you find it difficult to sit with yourself and acknowledge the dissatisfaction within? This is why you are desperate to find people or influencers to tell you what to do, to give you advice, to solve your issues, to save you time, pain, suffering, and confusion, instead of finding the solutions for yourself and seeking actual professional help from an expert in that field. Instead of following an unreliable source and using their technique that worked for them and that might not possibly work for you, and in return make your situation worse. The question of the day is, how strong is your self-awareness? Life is many things, yet there is one thing you and I can agree on. Life is unfair. By accepting that, you will allow yourself to welcome your reality, and from there, fight the norms and be true to yourself. Welcome to you and Aya, the human experience. Are you ready to fulfill your legacy? Again, I would like to thank the Coffee House on P Street here in downtown Lincoln for sponsoring this episode. As promised, I'll be releasing a new chapter each Thursday. Next week's chapter, which by the way is the season finale, will be titled Truth. Make sure to leave me your thoughts in the Q&A section or email me at youandaya@outlook.com. I always look forward to see what you have to say. Thank you so much for listening. Until next time.